A Vanguard study reveals you can double your money with a financial advisor. This is freaking insane. So let me give you the backstory here. I cut myself. I burned myself or cut myself. So my man emails me, I forgot his name. He says, "Hey, I saw this study or this article about 9 reasons you should hire a fiduciary." And it said Vanguard had done a study that said if you have the average guy, his 500,000 grew to 1.75 million within 25 years, but if you hired a pro, it grew to 3.4 million at the same time. So basically, you would have doubled your money with a financial pro, is what this Vanguard study said. I said, I'd never heard that. I was like, that's okay, whatever. I just chuckle. But anyway, so then I said I couldn't find the article. So I started typing. So I typed in here, a recent Vanguard study revealed a self-managed $500,000 investment grows. And you can see what I typed in here. And you get all these different things, all these different articles that came up. 28 keys to building wealth. So I clicked on it. I said, what the hell is that? I said, where is this? So it's a sponsored let me show you what I'm talking about. So you got MSN, and they got the sponsored thing. Sponsored, add 1.7 million to your retirement, but it doesn't actually say who sponsors it. So I guess Smart Assets Financial Advisor matching tool say. So a recent Vanguard study revealed a self-managed 500,000 investment grows into an average 1.75 and 1.7 million in 25 years, but with the care of a pro, it grows to 3.4. So of course, there's no thing. So let's go to smartasset.com. Smart Asset tries to pay you to pay so they can link you up with financial advisors. So let's go. We're going to type in a recent Vanguard. I haven't done this yet. So a recent Vanguard study. Let's see what they come up with here, because I just chuckle. Right here. So here we go. Empty nester. Let's see what these guys come up with here. All right. So empty nesters are falling behind. Let's see what we got. Let's type in Vanguard. Oops. Let's go here. Type in Vanguard. All right. Okay, right here. A recent study from Vanguard says that roughly 1/3, okay, well, that's not the same. That's it. A recent study from Vanguard says that 1/3 of Americans are leaving free money on the table, but that's not what they said. So they said if you have well, let me just, hold on. So I'm looking in here and I said, where is this study from Vanguard? There isn't any. All right, so let's type in, let's try some, let's do 1.7 million. Let's see if that comes up with anything. I bet not. Yeah, so where's the Vanguard study that says that? And the only thing I could possibly see, so let's go to, we're going to go to DuckDuckGo, and we're going to type in Vanguard study on fiduciary advisors. Let's see, is that the right way to spell that? Fiduciary. I always forget how to spell that. All right. Let's see what we come up with. I have a feeling I know what the study is. It's the Advisor Alpha. Let's see. Okay, so let's take a look. Vanguard and the value of personal financial advice. All right. Let's see what we got here. If Vanguard is doing a study like that, that freaking ticks me off. Not gonna lie to you. Yeah, right here. Vanguard attempts to put a value of return on financial advice. How much is expert financial advice worth, as defined by Vanguard? 3.75 of the value of even basic financial advice is significant, but in my book, it doesn't go far enough. All right, let's see. I'll admit I was surprised to see the mutual fund behemoth foray into qualifying the value of personal financial advice. All right, according to Vanguard's website, an average financial advisor may be able to boost a client's portfolio by as much as 3.75% a year. They call it Advisor Alpha. While 3.75 may sound like a huge estimate of value, Vanguard Financial Advisor Report estimates only taking into account the simple day-to-day activities. All right. This is where Vanguard says they can add training, add advice, behavioral coaching, asset allocation, cost-effective investment, account rebalancing, retirement spending strategies. However, the real benefit of financial advice, according to this guy, is that professionals are legally bound to put their clients' best interests ahead of their own, help you keep accountable, congratulate you when something great happens. Okay, so what's the big deal about 3.75, the Vanguard Financial Advisor value? The increase in returns is enormous. It could mean the difference between the financial freedom of retirement, chill on the golf course, versus the servitude of working McDonald's. All right, so that's the whole thing is just silly. So let's go to Vanguard Advisor. We're going to type in Vanguard Advisor Alpha. The thing is just, I freaking can't stand this crap, man. Because they're just trying to generate fees. And I get it. Just I've always hated this because they're trying to say, look, man, this is what Nick Murray does, and this is why I had to kind of stop following Nick Murray. And I love Nick Murray, but basically his whole argument is saying the market was down 37% in 2008. I kept you from making the big mistake, which is selling. And as such, even though I charge you 1%, when the markets came back around, because you did not sell at the end of 2008, you made all that money back even with my fee, if that makes sense. And on top of that, now come 2000, and I stopped reading about 2018, you're up 200%, and so minus my fee, you're up 190%, something like that. But the problem with Nick Murray is he says an advisor should never quantify his fee in dollars, always percentages, never dollars. And the reason he says that is because percentages seems minuscule when the actual dollars, you know what that means. I can't stand that, man. I hated that crap because you're basically you're misleading on purpose. And the problem is, I only charge 1%, and I would have saved you 37%. So you're netting 36% net of me, but there's no evidence of that. We don't know that to be true. Part two of that is you're saying, okay, I'm only charging 1%, but when you actually get your bill or you see it on your account statement, which most people don't, but if you did, you say, I'm paying you $17,000 a year. 1% is $17,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not a good feeling to have for a client that says, look, 1% is $17,000 a year. Or $5,000, I don't care what it is. I never liked that. It's like, just be upfront, say, this is why I get paid. You take it or leave it. And if more people did this, you'd have more financial advisors who charge for financial planning as opposed to investment management. All right, so let's look at the Vanguard study. The Advisor Alpha, this is so freaking stupid. And it drives me up the wall. Focus on behavioral coaching, in particular helping clients adhere to the long-term plans, because that is the greatest potential value you add. Again, the idea is that most investors get out when the markets are bad. I don't know any evidence of that. They'll have all this behavioral stuff. They'll have Morningstar says investors get out. Look, man, in my experience, the vast majority of clients don't get out. They don't open their statements, I grant you, but they don't sell. Some do. But those that do, you as the advisor aren't going to keep them in the game. Maybe a few do. I get you. There's always exceptions to the rule. The vast majority of people I've worked with in my career never got out to begin with. They just don't. And the reason why, because they just say, I'm not paying attention to it. I just let it in my 401k, I keep plugging. I'm just telling it, which is the best thing you can do. The people who don't get out, all right, and then this is the problem I always had with a financial advisor. This whole thing right here is, if a financial advisor calls you that says to get out because the markets are down, it's always after the fact. Always after the fact. They're going to stop the bleeding. When they get back in, when the markets have gone back up. When the bleeding has stopped and things stabilized. And that's just, you can't make money doing that, especially if you're charging a fee. It's always the same thing. They're never going to get you out before the market crashes, because then if they did that, they would have got you out in 2018. 2013, because the markets are always at all-time highs then too. It's just, the whole thing is silly on its face. The average advisor can lead the average client based on a doll bar study. Yeah, Morningstar has a study on this too. They're taking the average, and if you just look at the studies, it's net flows. They've never interviewed people, and that's what they should do, is literally interview people and say, hey, did you get out in 2008? No. Okay. All right, so part two of this, encouraging the use of thorough financial planning techniques. So I was talking to a guy today, and I'm like, let's just put it this way. Some of the directors of the company that he was at were salesmen in just a manufacturing concern. I don't want to go into more than that. And then they both left as being salesmen of this manufacturing concern, and now are both financial advisors. So you think they're doing thorough financial planning? Come on, that's not a slight on them. It's just come on, man. That's, all right, let's see. Constructing portfolios designed and maintained to match clients' risk tolerance, optimize tax efficiency, and help their clients reach their goals. All right, how do you quantify that? You can't. There is asset location. I like it a lot, but the vast majority of people have most of their money in 401ks. That's just a fact. Not much you can do from asset location there. It's just not, man. I wish there were, but there's not. So to say you can extrapolate that into asset location to tax optimization is just as silly. Anyway, so I just, the whole thing's nuts. The idea that Vanguard is going to say you could have doubled your, and the way the smart asset is doing is like they're adding 3.75 to whatever the average return was, and they're saying over 25 years. Well, let's just use this. We'll say 3 points. Say I don't know. I mean, if you got one, let's say I got 500,000. Here we go. We'll do this right now. 25 is N. 500,000 is present value. 1.7 is future value. No payments. Compute. I got 5% a year on my money if I had from 500,000 to 1.7. All right, so if my future value is 3.4, oops, 1 second. 1 second. 3, 4. There we go. 3, 4, 0, 0, 0, 0. I got 7.9. So I guess that's what I say before. That's the about 5 point. That's the 3.75. So I got 5. Yeah, it is right there. Exactly right. So I had 5 point something percent if I had from 500,000 to 1.7 million, and if I had an advisor, I got 7.96. That's a 3.75. Just laugh. All right, we'll see you guys.